The topic I would like to talk about is the punishment and effective behavior modification strategy in children. First of all, I would like to discuss some background information. Punishment is a term used in operant conditioning to refer any change that occurs after behavior. Obviously, positive and negative reinforcement are used to increase behaviors. But punishment is focused on reducing or eliminating unwanted behaviors. When parents discipline their children, they generally do so to teach their children a lesson, to give them some value, correct the value, and to improve their children's future behavior. It will be interesting to ask some questions toward punishment. Is the punishment an effective behavior modification strategy in children? What is an effective punishment? Obvious, these can go on and on. While punishment can be effective in some cases, but we can find out that some examples that punishment does not reduce a behavior. So the question is, why some punishment seems to work in some situations, but not in another situations? The article I would like to talk about is the corporal punishment by parents and associate children behavior and experience, a meta-analytic and theoretical review. In this article, the author aimed to have a full understanding of the association of corporal punishment with both positive and negative behaviors in the children, and to use a process context model to explain how parental corporal punishment might cause particular children outcomes. Therefore, in the first part of the article, the empirical evidence linking parental corporal punishment and both positive and negative children construct is synthesized through a meta-analysis. In her study, she hypothesized that parental corporal punishment affect children primarily by initiating and shaping emotional and cognitive process in the children, which in turn predispose them to engage in certain behavior or to have some particular experience. While conducting the meta-analysis, which includes 62 years of collected data, the author looked for association between the parental use of corporal punishments and 11 children behavior and experience. These include several in the childhood, for example, immediate compliance, moral internalization, and quality of relationship with parents. There are 3 behaviors in both childhood and adulthood, for example, mental health and aggression, and only one in the adulthood alone. This is the abuse of the own children. She attend all those articles from different 3 main sources. For example, she get an article from the reference list of the reference review. She also get the data from the computer-based literature research on different databases with the keywords such as corporal punishment. Finally, a sample of 88 study of the 300 articles included in the DF8, including 8 dissertations, were included in this analysis. The distribution of study were 5% of study from 1950 to 1959, 10% from 1960 to 1969, and 10% from 1970 to 1979, 25% from 1980 to 1989, 47% from 1990 to 1999, and 2% from 2000. She conducted separate meta-analysis for each of the dependent variables using the DSTAT software. And this software is based on the Hedge formulation of a meta-analysis. Summary statistics in each of the target study are converted into a standardized effect size. These effect size represent the size of the relationship of the dependent and independent variables. DSTAT software allows for the calculation of the effect size in the case of between subject designs, for example with the t-test, and as well as in the case of within subject designs, such as with the correlations. Now, Alpha found out that there is a strong association between the corporal punishment and all 11 children behavior and experience. However, 10 of them are negative, such as with increased children aggression and antisocial behavior. Only one desirable association between the corporal punishment and increased immediate compliance on the part of the children. There are two biggest effective sides, which have a very strong association between the corporal punishments. This is immediate compliance by the children and physical abuse of the children by the parent. In this review, it also found out that the physical punishment leads the children to engage in more, but not less, aggressive and antisocial behavior over the time. Therefore, the frequency and the problems of the corporal punishment taking matters. This means that the more often and more harshly a children was hit, the more likely they are going to be more aggressive. Additionally, the research also found some data and some results that this result does not support the notion that physical punishment promotes long-term internalized compliance. The main idea of the punishments is going to hope the children in the future they will not going to repeat this behavior. However, the research found this relationship. 85% of the study included in the meta-analysis found that physical punishment to be associated with less moral internalization of the norms for appropriate behavior in the long-term compliance. This is a bad news. So the review concludes that corporal punishment, even minor spanking, increase children negative behavior and decrease positive one. This is because corporal punishment makes children affect to disobey when parents are present. But when the parents are not present to control, to give the punishment, and to their children will misbehave. In addition to this, as the frequency of the corporal punishment increase, this one will result in an increase of negative outcomes. There will be a lot of issues related to this one because the children may have the image that using the corporal punishment is correct. Okay, so they are going to use the same way in the future to their children or other people. So on the other hand, there is a variety of situation factors, such as the parent-child relationship. This type of the relationship can moderate the effect of corporal punishment because they will be able to teach the student right from the wrong thing. Another article in the research is talking about that warmth from parents will be able to moderate the effect of the corporal punishment. Same result as this one. The author used meta-analysis, which attempt to take the raw data from other studies, and these used data can be combined together to get a new conclusion. In this review, the meta-analysis cannot be used to identify the cause between the corporal punishment and the child behaviors. They can only be used to identify the association between these two cases. Another fault that author also talked about in his meta-analysis is that the study used here is only the single point measurement. This means that the meta-analysis is lack of longitudinal investigation of the relationship. In other words, they only look at the child current behavior and ask how the child was raised. This obviously introduced some bias into the analysis. Of course, the review will not be able to answer some crucial questions. For example, what are the effects of non-abusive spending on children? And or the question may be, do they depend on the children's age, situation, or cultural context, and something else? The author's review failed to answer this crucial question because most of the study used in this article emphasize the form of the corporal punishments are too complex, and is also based on the conclusion is also based on the association with the children outcomes. But these associations sometimes may be misleading, as said before. Maybe the information wrong or something like this will not be able to allow the data to be accurate. The final problem, I think, would be that the spending used in that case is different because the study is deal with the teenagers. However, the data they collect for spending is that when the children is less than 5 years old. So the memory, first of all, the memory may be wrong. Second thing, the data may not be matched in that situation, and so therefore will not be able to give the correct association or conclusion. Therefore, I think the review cannot provide parents with the better information about how to discipline their children in the most effective manner.